is good? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're going to be going through and ranking our top 10 small forwards in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. Now, I do want to say, go watch the shooting guard list before this, because a guy like Paul George, who you could play at the small forward position, he's going to be on that shooting guard list. So I don't like putting players on both lists, because otherwise, like Paul George, even MJ would be probably top 4 on this list, and I just want to include different players. So make sure to go watch the shooting guard list before watching this one. As we dive into number 10, if you're new to the channel, go smash that subscribe button. Really do appreciate all of the recent support on the channel. Number 10, Xavier McDaniel, 73 ball, 80 speed, 85 lateral quickness, 85 interior perimeter, good badge-wise. Isaiah Roby, base, pretty solid, normal leaner pro dribble style. He's just your prototypical lengthy defensive 3 in my team that is going to knock down shots. Now, the one thing about Xavier McDaniel that I do wish is I wish his 3 ball was higher, but outside of that, the card is really complete. Good speed, good player model, really solid defensively. Badge-wise, sure, again, I wish he had more total badges, but at that stage, you're really you just got to pick your battles. And I think for Xavier McDaniel, he does more good than bad on the court, and there's not really anything he can't do. Sure, his 3 ball isn't super high, but he can dunk the ball. He plays great defense, and overall, he's just the guy you can have on the court and trust to compete at a really high level. At number 9, Carmelo Anthony, a card I really didn't know how to rank, because where he ranks really depends on what you want at this small forward position. Do you want a guy that offensively is going to be absolutely elite? Because Carmelo's that guy. But the problem lies on the defensive end of the court. His best defensive stat is that 78 steal. He's got a 70 interior. He's got a 72 perimeter. His block rating's not good. His defensive badges are absolutely horrible. There's just not many good things to say about Carmelo when it comes down to that defensive end of the court. Again, offensively, really solid. Melo base on quick, not probably as good as it's been in the past as far as that release. Devin Booker dribble style is really solid. You could probably make the case Melo could be number 2 on this list. For me, and what I need at that small forward position, I like defense. That's why Carmelo Anthony is all the way down here at number 9. At number 8, I'm plugging in Peja Stojakovic. Now, people are probably mad. Peja over Melo? How, Ty? That doesn't make sense. Well, I'll start with this. Peja is 6'10". Carmelo Anthony is 6'7". That by itself matters a ton, and Peja's going to shoot the ball better than Melo. They're both offensively minded. I just think Peja, because of that 3 ball and his size, gives you more than Carmelo Anthony. Hall of Fame catch and shoot. Hall of Fame limitless range. You're 6'10". Evan Fournier base, which is very easy to time and easy to green. I just don't see what's wrong and why Peja Stojakovic isn't getting talked about even more than he is in my team. This card can do it all at the highest level. I really like Peja, coming in at number 8. At my number 7, we're plugging in Diamond Brandon Ingram, who I personally believe is a slightly better version of Carmelo Anthony. Now, the cards aren't going to be exactly the same, but both have debug dribble style. Both have okay releases. I just think Brandon Ingram gives you a little bit more. This year, different than past years, Brandon Ingram actually is taller than Carmelo Anthony. Melo's only 6'7", Brandon Ingram 6'8". He's got good speed, decent driving, doesn't get to shoot the ball well. Again, problem lies on that defensive end of the court. His defense leaves a lot to be desired, and that's one of the main reasons Brandon Ingram isn't any higher. I think number 7 is the right spot for me. You guys could have him in your top 3. I just like defense more than offense at that small forward position. That's why Brandon Ingram finds himself at number 7. This is going to come as a surprise to a lot of people. At my number 6, Amethyst Grant Hill. I said it before and I'll say it again. I like defense at the small forward position. Grant Hill, 89 speed, 86 lateral quickness, great defensive badges. You're not going to see those defensive badges on Melo. You're not going to see those defensive badges on Brandon Ingram. You are going to see them on Mr. Grant Hill. And Grant Hill can attack the rim. He can handle the ball. The one thing he's not great at is shooting the ball, right? He's got a 74 3 ball. His release is not great. And that's kind of the downside of Grant Hill. For as much as I like Grant Hill, for as much as I think he provides for you guys on the defensive end of the court, offensively, he is going to struggle that little bit just because his shooting is not great. He's not going to be a primary ball handler, but if he is wide open, he should knock the shot down, and I like his ability to attack the rim as well. If you did lock in Grant Hill on your road towards Shaq, I'd still use him. For me, on my account, the only reason I'm not using him is because of a freaky card that did come out this weekend. I used Grant Hill for a very long time, and he will always hold a special place in my heart. Coming in at number 7, or at number 6. At number 5, a card that came out on the first day of the entire MyTEAM cycle. I do believe maybe it was day 2. That is the Amethyst 2K Day Jayson Tatum. You look at Jayson Tatum's stats, you look at his badges, he is one of the most complete small forwards in MyTEAM, and I'll debate that until the end of time. Name a guy badge-wise that's better than Jayson Tatum at the small forward position. There's not many. 87 3-ball, 81 speed, 87 lateral quickness. You talk about me and when I'm talking about Carmelo Anthony. Sure, his offense is better than Jayson Tatum's. I'm not going to argue that. But defensively, it's not even comparable. It's not even close. Hall of Fame off-ball pass, gold clamps, from top to bottom, defends at an elite level. Release might be slower than Melo's, but it is super easy to time and super easy to green. Jayson Tatum deserves his flowers in MyTEAM. Definitely was not worth the price he was going for day 1, and still to this day, not worth the price, not worth the lock-in. But if you did get him, he is a top small forward in MyTEAM. He is a top 5 small forward in MyTEAM, in my opinion, on my list. At number 4, we're plugging in another Amethyst small forward. This one's Scotty Pippen. Scotty Pippen, still to this day, is my starting small forward. Now, there's going to be a guy higher that I do run, but I love Scotty Pippen, and he will always have a special place in my heart. For Scotty Pippen, it starts with this. His release. The Scotty Pippen base is one that is absolutely elite in MyTEAM, and I'm surprised people even in like Park and Pro-Am aren't talking about this release. In my opinion, it's one of the better, smoother catch-and-shoot releases I've used all year long. So you give him one of the best releases in the game. You combine that with the decent 3-ball. He's got an 86 speed, a 93 lateral quickness. Good perimeter at a 93 as well. There's just no flaws in Scotty Pippen. Hall of Fame challenger, Hall of Fame clamps. You give him catch and shoot, Claymore, slippery off ball. He becomes, in my opinion, a top 4 at minimum small forward in the game. If you wanted to put Scotty at your number 1, I'm not going to argue with it. Because I think, in my opinion, one of the most complete defensive small forwards in the entire game. He's going to get you bear stops. He's going to knock down shots at an elite level. I will always have another special place in my heart for Scotty Pippen. Him and Grant Hill carried me throughout all of season 1 at that position. At my number 3, Amethyst Kawhi Leonard. So think about what I just said about Scotty Pippen. Defensively, absolutely elite. In my opinion, Kawhi Leonard's just a better Scotty Pippen. I do like Scotty Pippen's release more than Kawhi Leonard, so that's something to kind of keep tabs on. Not that Kawhi doesn't have a chick release, because I don't see anybody missing with Kawhi. I just think Scotty's a little bit quicker. But the one thing I will say is Kawhi is going to have that better player build than Scotty Pippen. Scotty's taller, but I just feel like Kawhi, his defensive stats, I don't know what it is, just plays better and more defense than Scotty Pippen. That's just kind of what I've noticed throughout using both these cards, throughout playing against both these cards. I hate playing against this Kawhi Leonard more than about anybody else in MyTEAM right now. And I think that's just a credit to how truly good Kawhi Leonard is in MyTEAM on that defensive end of the court. At my number 2, a newer guy that did get released, Andrei Kirilenko. Very similar to Kawhi, very similar to Scotty. You can have these guys ranked in any order, and this is where it comes down to. If you want to have Melo above these guys, you can. I just prefer defense at that small forward position. And so all these guys are my 2 through 4. AK is just a taller version of like a Scotty Pippen, Kawhi Leonard. I do think he has the worst release out of all 3 of those guys, but he's got the best player build and player model. And I think as far as competing on the interior, he's going to do that better than those guys as well. So let's say you want to run AK at that 4, you can do that. He can make a few plays. Norma Leaner is solid. Haywood Highsmith base isn't as bad as I initially thought it would be. I do think he is pretty expensive, and so that's the problem I have with him. And if you have Scotty Pippen, Kawhi, I just continue to run them. But I do love Andrei Kirilenko in my team. Coming in at number 1, my most complete and my best small forward in my team, I've got the diamond, Kevin Durant. And I don't love Kevin Durant. I honestly don't have any issues when I've played against Kevin Durant. But he is the most complete small forward in my team, and you can't argue against that. Great 3-ball, good speed, great defensively. He can get every single badge in the game. The one thing I would encourage you guys to know and consider before you do anything like lock in for this KD is know and understand his release is on the slower side of things. As far as complete small forwards are concerned, KD is at the top of the list in my opinion. He can do everything at a solid level, can handle the ball, can dunk the ball, can shoot the ball, can play great defense. There's nothing that Kevin Durant can't do. I just wish his release was that little bit quicker. That's going to wrap it up for our small forward list today, guys. You guys can let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. As always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.